My in-laws always said I was just temporary. They never remembered my birthday, called me by my wrong name, and always said, "She's still here?" One day, at a family gathering, they all toasted my husband's ex, calling her the one who got away. I didn't cry. I just stood, raised my glass, and said, "Funny you say that, because she's the one he called last night, begging her to take him back." I met Scott in Louisville, Kentucky. We were both working downtown. Me in accounting, him in marketing. He was funny, charming, said all the right things. For the first 6 months, it felt like something real. He'd bring me coffee to work, leave notes in my purse. I was sure he was the one. The first time I met his family, I should have known something was off. It was a dinner at some overpriced steakhouse with white tablecloths and a waiter who looked scared of his own shadow. His mom looked me up and down like I was wearing a trash bag. I'd put real effort into that dress, too. She asked what I did for work. I told her. She nodded, gave a tight smile, then turned to Scott and said, "Did you see the email I sent you about that condo in St. Pete? Amanda would have loved that place." I blinked. Amanda? That was his ex. He warned me they were close with her, but I didn't expect that. It didn't stop there. When the waiter came around to take drink orders, I said I'd like red wine. His mom leaned over and said, "She'll have white." Not a question. Just said it like she was my handler. And no one corrected her. Not even Scott. I shot him a look and he just shrugged like, "It's not worth it." They called me the wrong name twice that night. Rachel and then Rebecca. I didn't correct them either. Thought maybe it was just nerves, or they'd had too much to drink. But they never tried to learn my name. Not even after we got engaged. At the engagement dinner, just us, his parents, and his sister Maureen, they gave a toast. Well, his mom gave a toast. She stood up, raised her glass, and said, "To Scott, our son, our pride. You've always had a good head on your shoulders." Then she glanced at me. "And Riley, I'm sure you'll be a great support." Support. Like I was a walking emotional crutch. They didn't ask about the wedding plans. Didn't offer to help. His mom even said, "You two should just elope. Saves everyone the trouble." She said it with a laugh, but no one else laughed. Not even Maureen. We got married anyway. Small ceremony, just a few friends and my side of the family. His parents showed up late and left early. They didn't bring a gift. Not even a card. After the wedding, it got worse. When we moved into a little place in Crescent Hill, I was so proud of it. It was small, sure, but it was ours. First house together. His dad walked in, looked around, and said, "This is just temporary, right? You're not settling here?" Scott didn't say a word. He never stood up for me. Not once. Every time we saw them, they talked about Amanda. His ex. The one who'd been around for years before me. She was a lawyer, from money, went to Vanderbilt. She and Scott broke up 2 years before we met, but you'd think they were still together the way his family talked. Amanda used to love this place. Amanda always made the best lemon bars. Remember when Amanda surprised us at Christmas with matching pajamas? His mom kept a framed photo of Amanda and Scott in the living room. It was in the background of every Zoom call they did with us. One day I asked about it. She said, "Oh, that's just a good picture of him. He looks so happy there." I said, "Yeah, with his ex." She didn't even blink. Well, she was a big part of his life. Some things you don't forget. Maureen was worse. She gave me backhanded compliments. "You're so independent." Amanda was always so clingy. "You're the opposite." Or, "You're not into makeup, huh?" That's refreshing. Amanda was always so polished. Everything she said made me feel like I didn't belong. Like I was just filling space. The final straw was Thanksgiving. Maureen made gift bags for everyone. Small stuff. A candle for her husband. A book for their mom. A bottle of wine for her dad. I got socks. Turkey socks. One size fits all, written on a post-it note. I smiled, said thank you, and swallowed the lump in my throat. Scott didn't say anything to her. He didn't even notice, I think. Or he didn't care. But the real punch in the gut came a few months later. It was their parents' 40th wedding anniversary. Huge dinner. They booked a back room at an Italian restaurant in town. Fancy place. Everyone dressed up. I wore this deep navy dress, curled my hair, put on heels that I hadn't touched since the wedding. I kept thinking, maybe tonight they'll finally see me. Dinner started off fine. Until the champagne came out. Maureen tapped her glass. "I'd like to make a toast," she said. She stood, all proud, and looked around the table like she was royalty. "To Mom and Dad, 40 years of marriage. That's something. You've shown us all what love looks like." Everyone smiled, raised their glasses. Then she added, "And to the one who got away. Amanda, wherever you are, we still love you. You were always one of us." They all laughed, clinked glasses. Even Scott. I sat there, frozen. My face went hot. My ears were buzzing. I looked at Scott, and he just gave that tight, awkward smile he always did when he wanted to disappear. That's when I stood up. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just picked up my glass and said, "Funny you say that. Because she's the one he called last night, begging her to take him back." The room went still. His mom gasped. His dad dropped his fork. Maureen's mouth opened like she wanted to say something but forgot how to speak. Scott stood up. "Riley, what the hell?" "No, go ahead," I said. Tell them. Tell them how you sat in the guest bathroom at 2 a.m. whispering into your phone. How you told her you think about her when you're with me. How you said maybe you made a mistake marrying me." No one moved. I looked around the table, made eye contact with every one of them. "So go ahead. Raise your glasses to Amanda, the one who got away and clearly dodged a bullet." Then I set my glass down and walked out. They didn't follow. Not one of them. I didn't cry until I was back in the car, parked under a streetlight. And even then, it wasn't a sad cry. It was something else. Something that felt like release. Later that night, Amanda messaged me. "Good for you," she wrote. "I blocked his number weeks ago. I just forgot to tell him." I didn't go home that night. I drove to a motel off I-64 and checked in with what little cash I had in my wallet. I didn't even take off my dress. I just sat on the edge of that bed and stared at the wall for hours. My phone buzzed nonstop. Scott called 8 times. Texted even more. "What the hell was that? We need to talk. You're overreacting. Come home. Please." I didn't answer. Around 3 a.m., he stopped trying. Then the text changed. "I'm sorry." I don't even remember calling her. I had too much to drink. "Can we start over?" Too late. I stayed at that motel for 2 nights. On the 3rd morning, I called in sick to work and drove back to our house. When I walked in, the kitchen was clean, candles lit. He was sitting at the table like he was in a magazine spread, fresh coffee, fresh shave, button-down shirt. Playing the good husband look. "You left your charger," he said like nothing happened. I didn't sit down. "You're pathetic," I said. "Calling your ex behind my back and still trying to play the victim." He stood up, looked like he wanted to fight it. "I wasn't trying to get back with her." "Oh, really? Then why'd you tell her you were miserable with me?" Silence. That's when I said it. "We're done." He stared at me, like he couldn't believe it. "You're leaving me? Over this? This?" I laughed. "You mean years of your family treating me like dirt while you stood there and watched? Or are you chasing your ex while I slept in the same house as you?" He followed me upstairs. "Riley, don't do this. Let's just talk. You're mad. That's all." But I wasn't mad. I was done. I packed 2 bags. He tried to stop me, grabbed my arm in the hallway. Not hard, but firm. "We can fix this," he said. I pulled away. "You never tried to fix anything when they tore me apart for years. You never once told your family to stop disrespecting me." He didn't argue that. He couldn't. I moved in with my cousin in Germantown that week. Filed for divorce 2 weeks later. Here's where things got even messier. A friend from work, Ashley, called me one afternoon. "Hey," she said, "I don't know if this is your business or not, but did you know Scott's mom posted something weird on Facebook?" I didn't even have her on Facebook. I blocked most of them after that night. Ashley read it to me. Some women just can't handle being second best. Luckily, our son's heart still knows who the real one is. Hashtag family first, hashtag true love waits. I nearly dropped my phone. Then, my mom called me. She was livid. She sent your aunt a message. Said you were unstable. That you made up that phone call to Amanda. They're trying to flip it on me? I asked. Oh, honey, my mom said. They're not trying. They already have. Your aunt said people are reaching out, asking if you were drinking, if you imagined it. That night, I got a text from Amanda again. Short but important. Scott messaged me again. I didn't reply. Just wanted you to know. I was furious. I went back to that house one last time. Not to talk. Just to drop off the rest of his crap and leave the key. But he was home. He opened the door like he'd been waiting. You made me look like a monster, he said. You did that yourself. I lost my job, Riley. I paused. What? My boss saw the Facebook stuff. HR got involved. Said it's unprofessional. They said I created a hostile environment. That should have made me feel something. It didn't. You brought this on yourself, I said. Maybe now you'll understand what it feels like to be humiliated. I turned to leave. But he said something I didn't expect. You think you're the victim here, but you're not. You married into a family who never wanted you. That's on you. That stopped me cold. Then I smiled. You're right. I should have left a long time ago. And I did. But I wasn't done yet. A week after that last confrontation, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Just my name, written in tight, neat handwriting. Inside was a wedding photo. Me and Scott, smiling under the old maple tree where we said our vows. Across the bottom, written in red ink, this could have been forever. Too bad you ruined it. No signature. No note. At first, I thought maybe it was Scott trying to guilt me. But the handwriting didn't match anything I'd seen from him. Then I remembered his mom always sent handwritten Christmas cards. Her handwriting was almost identical. Tight loops. Clean lines. Too neat. I showed it to my cousin. She narrowed her eyes and said, "That's psycho behavior." So, I took it to a lawyer. Not for the letter. For the divorce. I wanted it clean, fast, and done. But when we got into it, turns out Scott had more surprises up his sleeve. My lawyer called me into her office one morning and said, "We've got a complication." Apparently, Scott had opened a joint credit card 2 months before the blow-up. Without telling me, he listed me as a co-signer. $6,000 in charges. Watches, clothes, hotel stays, and one charge from a spa in Atlanta. Atlanta. I said out loud, confused. Then it hit me. Amanda lived there. I texted her. Did you see Scott recently? She responded quick. No. But he texted me about meeting up in Atlanta. I said no. Haven't seen him in years. So then who the hell was the spa trip with? That question kept me up for days. Meanwhile, his family kept going. His mom posted a photo of her and Scott with a caption. No matter what happens, blood is thicker than bitterness. We love you, son. Maureen chimed in with a comment. Some women can't handle the heat. That's why Amanda was always the real one. That's when I made a decision. If they wanted to play dirty, I'd return the favor. I went through our shared Dropbox account. Scott had forgotten to change the password. Inside, I found receipts, old screenshots, even saved conversations from before our wedding. One folder caught my eye. It was named Backup _. I opened it. There were messages between Scott and Maureen from a few months before our wedding. One stuck out. Just hang in there till the prenup signed. After that, do what you want. Maureen replied, "She won't last. She's not Amanda. She's just passing through. They planned it. The whole thing. The marriage, the way they treated me, like I was a stand-in, not a person. Like I didn't matter." But the real kicker? Another message. This one from Scott to Amanda. Marrying Riley is just the easiest way to move forward. It won't be forever. You know that. It was dated 3 weeks before our wedding day. I printed everything. Every email, Every message, every receipt. I gave it all to my lawyer. Then I sent a copy to Amanda.
She called me the next day.
You need to ruin him, she said. And I'll help you. That's when things really started to turn. Amanda and I weren't friends. We never would be. But we both had a score to settle. She sent me screenshots of Scott texting her again after I'd left him. The same pattern, him saying he missed her, that I was unstable, and that he only married me because he didn't want to be alone. He even said I was trying to ruin his life out of spite. I printed it all. Then I walked it straight to the courthouse. My lawyer added every bit of it to our case. In Kentucky, emotional distress might not carry a lot of weight in court, but financial fraud and deception before a marriage? That changes things. Especially with those emails showing Scott only married me with the intent to dump me later and used our marriage as a way to look stable for work and family. We filed for annulment and damages. Meanwhile, I made one more move. I created a private blog, password protected, just for people I trusted. I posted my whole story, the screenshots, the emails, the letter, the lies, everything. And then I quietly sent the link to his company's HR. A week later, Scott lost his job. Amanda told me his ex-boss had zero tolerance for character issues. Turned out, Scott had told his team that Amanda was the love of his life, and I was just something to get through. Multiple people had heard it. My blog just confirmed what they already suspected. Then came the family fallout. Maureen tried to post some poor Scott crap online, calling me a homewrecker who ruined a good man. But what she didn't realize, Amanda had also had enough. Amanda posted under her real name under Maureen's post. If by good man you mean someone who lies, cheats, manipulates, and tried to use two women to cover his own pathetic fear of being alone, then yeah, real good man. Maureen deleted her post within the hour. But the damage was done. The truth was out. Scott tried to contact me one more time, called from a friend's number, begging to meet, saying we could clear the air. I didn't answer. I didn't want to hear another word from a man who used me like a rental car while waiting to buy his real ride. The annulment went through. Fast. The judge read through the evidence and didn't ask many questions. This marriage was based on fraud, she said. It never should have happened. As for the $6,000 credit card, my lawyer fought it and won. Scott was held responsible. And since it was proven he opened it without telling me, the debt was 100% on him. He had to pay every penny back plus legal fees. But I wasn't perfect either. I let myself believe in something that wasn't real. I ignored the signs, let myself get talked down to, pushed aside, humiliated, just for the dream of being someone's forever. I should have walked sooner. I should have stood up for myself louder. But I didn't. And I'll own that. It's been 6 months now. I'm in therapy. I got a new apartment, a new job, and peace like I haven't known in years. The best part? I mailed one last letter. Not to Scott. To his mom. Inside was a photo. Me, smiling, standing in front of my new apartment, holding the final annulment papers. On the back I wrote, "Still here, and finally, not temporary." I never heard back, and I never needed to, because for the first time in years, I remembered who the hell I was. And this time, no one gets to forget my name.